Good morning, Mountains. We are live here. I'm in Warfield, Kentucky. Darryl McCoy here, JJ Pruitt in Man, West Virginia. And we did have Bradley Damron from the main streets of Marbone Creek, but he's in Cleveland, Ohio this morning. So let's see if he's back on here. There he is. There he is.
The joys of traveling, guys.
There we go. We got Bradley Damron from Cleveland, Ohio here. Bradley is doing his, he's got to go to the clinic every now and then and do his hospital stuff. So he's down there this week. So, Bradley, I want to thank you for joining us. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, Darryl. We decided to bring the dog with us on this wonderful trip, and he was really good till about 6:30 this morning. And I think they put us on the wall with other dog owners, so there was a nice little symphony of barking dogs.
Well, you seem to take that dog everywhere with you, Bradley.
Well, I think this was an experiment in taking him with us to Cleveland, and I think it's already failed, but we're gonna make the most of it.
It happens. You gotta learn, live and learn. But as we get going, I want to start today's show, and after we get our opening segment, we're going to let Bradley. I know Bradley's got a busy day, but we're going to keep him what we can, and we're going to do our survivor picks a little early today. So instead of doing them tomorrow, because Bradley probably won't be able to join us, so we'll do them this morning. So today is September 24th. JJ, what you got for us?
The year was 1957. And on this day in 1957, racial desegregation took center stage when federal troops were dispatched to Little Rock, Arkansas to maintain order and enforce the right of Black students to attend the local public high school. Now, it's still fascinating to me that, this really happened. I mean, it's hard to believe where our country was, once upon a time.
Well, it's not much better today, but it is in that aspect.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I mean, I could comfortably go to school. So,
yeah, there you go. Well, JJ, I think you could have passed anyways.
I think maybe at an all Jewish school or something. I don't know.
I don't know about the South back
then. Bradley.
I mean, listen, man, that's one of the darkest times in U.S. history. That whole era of everything from segregation and all that. But like I said, little kids there, man, and people were hurling in sometimes rocks and whatever else at them.
Your sound is going in and out on us, Bradley. You're a little
delayed, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's like you got internet issues.
I probably do, Darryl. I'm in a hotel, so we're doing the best we can here.
Well,
we're going to give you a pass, Bradley. We're just grateful that you're on here with us this morning. I got another one for you, Darryl. The year was 1960 when the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the Enterprise, was launched by the United States.
Okay. So the first ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
First, yeah. So that's I don't know. Anytime I hear the word nuclear, I get a little freaked out.
Well, good thing we're past the nuclear days. Yeah. Because Lord knows we don't want to go back to that.
I mean, we're past them for now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Until somebody goes a little nuts.
Yeah.
The year was 1991 when the American alternative rock band group Nirvana released its breakthrough album Nevermind, which helped make grunge an international phenomenon and gave voice to Generation X. So, Darryl, my question to you is like, Nirvana is one of my favorite bands, but however, I was born in '89, so I didn't really learn much about them until I got to become a teenager. What was that era like for you, like transitioning from '80s hair metal to the alternative type music?
I be honest with you, I was in the I was a big '80s music fan, but you really didn't feel it, as much as you would think, because I guess there was a bridge there of like from the hair metal to like Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, the trying to think, Aerosmith, where that they kind of started making slower music. And Aerosmith come out with quite a few hits, and it was like the hair bands just kind of faded away. So you really didn't feel it as much. It wasn't like just a transition or going straight to that. And listen, Nirvana and stuff. I mean, they had a lot of fans, but a lot of their fans come with the skateboarding crowd and stuff like that. So when skating come around, that was just something, that you kind of was synonymous with, skateboarding and hacky sacking and stuff like that. So, it wasn't like it was just, it was here one day and, gone the next. We had a slow transition back then, and credit, I was probably only 10 years old during, 91, I was 9 years old, so I can't remember a ton of it, but that was my take on it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because like if you look at the documentaries though, like they always act like they just wiped them off the map overnight.
No, it was a slow transition, like in the early 90s. That 91, that don't even seem like, it was 91, does it, Bradley? It seemed like Nirvana was more 93, 94 in that area.
Yeah, like I think when I think of Nirvana, like I graduated from high school in '96, and like I think of Nirvana like more like my when I was like in that ninth, eighth, ninth grade, stuff like that, than I do like a little earlier.
That would be. How old are you, Bradley?
I am 46.
46. Well, see, that's Nirvana was, it was, I guess,
89 to 94.
But to me, it was, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade for me, as well. But Bradley, you're a few years older than me, so I don't know. I don't know where that would have come from. But Nirvana was. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of alternative rock back then. Nirvana, and I like them a lot more today than I did back then.
I think it's one of those situations where you appreciate them when they're gone or as you get older.
I was always so like Nirvana, Pearl Jam, those bands. I guess the one from that time period that I always liked the most was like Stone Temple Pilots. But
see, I never was a fan of them. I just I did not dig that kind of music back then. I was more, I liked rap, and I was more on, Aerosmith and music like that.
Yeah, Aerosmith. I mean, Aerosmith's been big for forever. It seems like.
I'm a lover, not a banger.
Fair enough.
Well, Nick,
I got one more. The year was 2015, where according to Saudi officials, 769 people died in a stampede during the Hajj to Mecca. However, other estimates claim that more than 2,400 people were killed, making it one of the deadliest accidents in the pilgrimage's history.
Now, what was it?
It says 769 people died in a stampede to Mecca. And it says the estimates claim that more than 2,400 were killed instead of 769.
What is stampede to Mecca?
Yeah, it says in a stampede, so I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Every year, like basically some people like make a journey in homage, like a trip to Mecca, right?
Oh yeah, okay, I get what you're talking about. Yeah,
And
religious.
so people basically kind of got crushed under each other.
Yeah, okay, I get it now. I wasn't putting it in that context. I get what you're talking about. Religious stampede.
Yes.
Also this day in history, Jailhouse Rock, Elvis's single released in 1957. So big day there. Also, 60 Minutes premiered in 1968 on this day in history. 1968, New York manager Gil Hodges suffered a heart attack on the field. Another Elvis.
Wow.
1961, first Elvis convention, 2,500 fans attended in Cincinnati. Was you there, Bradley?
I was not, no.
1972.
I was a little young for that.
New York Jet Joe Namath passed for 6 touchdowns versus the Baltimore Colts in a 44-34 Jets win. 1974, Alkaline Detroit Tiger is 12th to get 3,000 hits. 1976, Patty Hearst was sentenced. The newspaper heiress Patty Hearst sentenced to 7 years for her part in the 1974 bank robbery, released 22 months after President Jimmy Carter pardoned her by U.S. President Bill Clinton in 2001. Released after 22 months by U.S. President Jimmy Carter and pardoned by U.S. President Bill Clinton in 2001. Huh. So Jimmy Carter, and then she was pardoned for a crime in 2001. Now, that right there is, I guess, tells you all you need to know that money buys everything, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
You think we could rob a bank and get pardoned from the president?
No, probably not, Darryl. I can say.
Well, that might be the experiment we try with JJ Bradley.
me of all people.
Sending me in.
JJ, that's what we want you to do tomorrow. Rob a bank.
Rob a bank.
Yeah. Make sure it isn't a Logan Bank and Trust or a Citizens Bank of Kentucky, though.
Yeah, they're sponsors, man. We got to take care of them.
Absolutely.
1977, first broadcast of Love Boat. Come on.
Oh, wow.
Boss, the plane, boss, the plane.
That's Fantasy Island.
Was that Fantasy Island?
Yeah, that's Fantasy Island.
Well, I get my Love Boat and Fantasy Islands mixed up there. Love Boat, didn't they have a midget on it?
No. It was just all on it was a weird one. It was just all on a boat.
No midgets on Love Boat, right?
There was not, no.
To be politically correct, are they dwarves or?
Yes, dwarf is the correct term.
Okay. Let's see. 1979, Pete Rose reaches 200 hits in the season for 10th time.
Oh, wow.
So, let's see. 1980, Iraqi troops cross Iran's border. 1983, Dale Murphy is 6th to hit 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases.
Dale Murphy was such an underrated player. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
It's a shame he ain't, and it's interesting that he went 30-30, the first to do 30-30. Then yesterday, 10 years later, Jose Canseco, within 2 days, Jose Canseco was the first to do 40-40. And then we had Shohei Ohtani was the first to do 50-50.
Yeah, well, I think the only reason Dale Murphy's not in the Hall of Fame is because he's like 4 or 5 home runs short of 400 career homers.
Now, that milestone would probably help him a lot.
But he was also a National League MVP and was just a force in the 80s when home runs didn't fly off the bats like they do now.
Yeah. Well, 1985 Montreal Expo, Andre Dawson is not to get 6 RBIs in an inning, 5th, and joins Willie McCovey to hit 2 home runs in an inning twice. So that's impressive.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. Jackie Joyner Kersey, record gold. 1988 American heptathlete Jackie Joyner Kersey sets new world record. 7,291 points to win the gold medal at the Seoul Olympics. East Germans Saban John and Aunt Bomber make the minor medals. Let's see. Right here, 1988, Canadian sprinter Ben Johnson breaks his own 100-meter world record with a time of 9:79 at the Seoul Olympics. Disqualified 3 days later for use of drugs. Carl Lewis awarded the gold with a world record 9:92. Wow. So 9:79 Ben Johnson run on performance-enhancing drugs, and Carl Lewis ended up getting a world record with 9:92.
I remember them doing like a 30 for 30 documentary on that.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of difference there. 9:75 and 9:92.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. ABC's premiere of The Preppy Murder, based in 1989 on the 1986 New York of Jennifer Levin by ex-prep school student Robert Chambers, come out. Let's see. 1990, Saddam Hussein states his willingness to strike first and his intentions to damage oil fields in the region in Iraq if U.S. doesn't play along with his plan. 1991, Deion Sanders left Braves July 31st to report the NFL Falcons training camp.
I remember when they did a documentary on Primetime, like he's like the only person to ever hit or score a touchdown and hit a home run like in the same week or something like that, or within a 24-hour period.
Deion Sanders hit a home run?
He played in the World Series.
I know.
Yeah,
I know that.
Deion hit a few homers. He wasn't a power hitter, but
no, he was legit. Like if in the I think it was the 1994 World Series, he batted like 500. If they would have won that series, he would have got MVP.
He was not legit. He was not known as one of the top players.
Look it up. Look up his statistics for the 1994 World Series.
Baseball player.
Let's not act like Deion was a star, JJ.
He's if you look at his number. I mean, I'm not saying he was.
Deion was a gimmick guy. You know, he was an athlete that got publication, or he got popularity, or he got press because he was playing both sports.
But he was a solid baseball player, Darryl. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't. Let's not act like he was one of the top 5-6 players on the team.
I mean, but in
really
the
good defensive player.
But the one World Series he played in, he batted 500. I mean, that's like, he got MVP. So I'm not saying he was a top 10 player or nothing, but to be able to play on the biggest stage and to be able to hit 500, I mean, you got to be pretty elite.
It also depends on, I guess, how many at bats he had too. He could have had 2 at bats and got one.
I think he had 11.
I don't know. The 1991 rock band Nirvana releases their second studio album, Nevermind, as JJ mentioned. As Pedro Martinez in 1992 makes major league debut for Los Angeles Dodgers against the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, wow.
1992, Toronto's Dave Winfield is the oldest player to reach 100 RBIs. Let's see. McCall TKO's 1994. Oliver McCall TKO's Lennox Lewis in second round to win heavyweight boxing title. And that was a huge upset back in the day.
Oliver McCall was a good boxer. The Atomic Bull.
He was. In 1996, U.S. President Bill Clinton signs a comprehensive nuclear test ban treaty where United Nations bans all nuclear testing. I'd like to say that's one of the better bills ever passed. And that rounds us out. So what birthdays we got?
We've got Eddie George, if you guys remember him.
We do.
A really good player for the Tennessee Titans back in the day. And didn't he play for Ohio State as well?
He did.
He did.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if he was a Heisman Trophy winner too, but I knew he was really elite. But we got Stephanie McMahon.
Yep.
And last but not least, how many of you remember Kevin Sorbo?
I know the name.
Hercules. Remember the TV show Hercules back in the 90s? Yeah, that was him.
Well, you had two good birthdays there.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love watching Hercules as a kid. I mean, that was,
as we go to the Book of Faces, Braden Hall, Betsy Lane Bobcat, Braden Hall, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Betty Jo Little. Happy birthday, Carl Whitey Little's wife. So happy birthday to Betty Jo. Hopefully Whitey could pass that news along to her. Chase Berry, former Chapmanville Tiger. Let's see if we got anybody else notable. Nope, that's about it. So slow day on the birthday list on the Book of Faces. We'll take a quick break. Then we'll come back and we're going to do our survivor picks. And because at 9 o'clock, we got Bryson Dawes and Macy Maynard coming on. So we're going to be right back after a quick break here on the Startup Morning Show. Award-winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family-owned and family-operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires Appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE.
Get ready to rev your engines and hit the trails on October 10th through the 13th at the 23rd National Trail Fest in Gilbert, West Virginia. With miles of award-winning trails, sanctioned drag racing, live music, and thrilling poker runs, there's nonstop excitement for everyone. Indulge in mouth-watering food and discover unique finds from our vendors. Located in scenic southern West Virginia, it's the perfect escape from it all.
We are back here on the Startup Morning Show with Bradley Damron from Cleveland, Ohio, JJ Pruitt from Man, West Virginia, and I am Darryl McCoy. This segment sponsored by our friends at Bray and Oakley. Tell us about them, JJ.
Well, it's one of our most recent sponsors, and they have multiple offices all throughout Logan County, Mingo County, and Pike County. And if you're if you're in need of some insurance, they're the perfect people for you to call. And I think what makes them separates them from everybody else is like I said, they have locations everywhere. Like, if you're in a position where you need to go to an office, but you're in a different area, they have a spot where you can go to.
Well, there you go, Bray and Oakley. So big shout out to them. Guys, real quick, you want me to show you something neat? I alluded to it yesterday on the show. But let me see if I can get it up here. We can't hear you, Bradley. Can't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, I gotta go here in just like 2 minutes, Darryl.
Oh well, go ahead and we'll do our survivor picks real quick. So let us, Bradley. Who is what game are you picking this week?
I decided to change my pick after talking to y'all. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm picking Tug Valley over Morgan County.
That's a tough one, Bradley.
And I'm telling you, Gideon, Noah, I know you're watching. Make me look smart this weekend, all right?
Well, Bradley may or may not be playing with us next week then, JJ.
No, I'll be playing.
JJ, who do you got?
Prestonsburg.
Oh, wow. JJ probably won't be playing with us next week.
We shall see.
And I'm gonna use my Belfry pick this week.
I thought about that one. Yeah.
I think Belfry wins huge over McGoffin.
I think you're right.
Carl Whitey Little says, I'll tell her, Darryl, it's my granddaughter's birthday today, too. Oh, so there you go, Bailey. Happy birthday, Bailey.
All right, guys, I got to head out. I will talk to you all later.
Well, Bradley, I hope everything goes well, and we're going to be praying for you, buddy.
All right, buddy. We'll see y'all.
Now, JJ, I'm going to share with you this great video here. I told you about the celebration after Belfry beat Pikeville. Here's a little clip from it.
It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. My partner on the pill, my hood up on the drum. Roll up the hood, I'm trying to get fucked up. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. It's a party, it's a party, it's a party. A party ain't a party till I walk in it. Last green flag, match the fitted in the linen. Bitches y'all it.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it.
They got Coach Haywood dancing.
They got Coach Haywood dancing. I love them moments. Them are moments that them kids will never forget in their life.
Absolutely. And Coach Haywood just getting in on it, that makes it even cooler. I was going to say Big Man had a lot of rhythm and he was going to be my favorite part of the video, but then you brought Coach Haywood out. So, that's got to be my favorite part.
Well, definitely a fun day there as the Pirates take care of Pikeville 35-21, and that was a little bit of the celebration. Well, let's stay on Pond Creek before we go. Growing up, one of my best friends in school was a guy named Jonathan Wright.
Coach Jonathan.
Yep, Jonathan Wright. We went from Head Start all the way to our senior year. We went to school together, and very Whitey Little says Haywood still got it. He definitely does, Whitey. But Jonathan Wright, one of my best friends all throughout school, and he was always in middle school. He was a stud basketball player, really good football player too. We went undefeated, won the I guess it was the wasn't. I don't know. I don't know if we called it. It was it was varsity football title back then because we had 8 middle schools. I don't think we called it. No, it wasn't the county title. I don't know exactly what we called it, but anyways, we went undefeated. We beat Turkey Creek in the championship game, and Jonathan went on his sophomore year. We went to the region championship and got beat out against Paintsville in basketball. But after that, he started focusing on football, and the dude had a cannon for an arm. Still, probably the best quarterback to come out of Belfry. Now, Chase Varney may end up surpassing him, but. Jonathan ended up going to Pike for college and playing college football. Well, seen yesterday, his son Dane is at it. take a look at some of the highlights here from Dane in Sunday's matchup with Pike Central.
Come on, Dane! Go, Dane! Go! Go, Dane! Go, Dane! Woo! There we go! Come on, Dane! Go, Dane! Go! Go, Dane! Go, Dane! Woo! There we go!
Wow.
Now he had a little more wheels than his dad did. His dad, had a rocket for an arm, but he's probably a little quicker than his daddy.
I was gonna say if he throws half as good as his old man, he's gonna be a problem. Like with the way he's running. Like how old did you say he was?
I've met the kid. He's probably 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Jeez, that kid is fast.
Maybe a little younger. But JJ wanted to do our mini beef jerky players of the game from the other night. Johnson Central defeats North Laurel 42-0, and it was Zach McCoy with 11 carries, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Johnson Central also had Logan Morrow with 13 carries, 85 yards, and a TD, and Dalton Matney had 8 tackles for the Golden Eagles. Caden Gibson for Perry Central. Perry Central knocks off Shelby Valley 34-14. He had 12 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, earning the mini beef jerky player of the game honors. And then his backfield running mate, Colin Combs, had 17 carries for 103 yards and a score. He also had 3 receptions for 34 yards and a score. So big shout out to both them kids as they led Perry Central to a big win over Shelby Valley. So JJ,
Go ahead.
now I got a question.
Okay.
Who is when you pick your survivor picks, how do you pick them?
Well, obviously, living on the edge, I guess you could say.
So do you just throw them in a hat and draw them out?
I just go for the game that's going to be the most entertaining or the closest, and then I, pick one of those teams. But I do have one pick left in the chamber that I'm going to save for the postseason if I can make it to the postseason.
All right. Well, we'll see. This week's going to be a hard one for you to get past.
Well, what are the odds? Have they released them just yet?
No, I've not seen the Massey ratings yet, but I would say it's close to 50-50. And Carl Whitey Little, Dane Wright is wearing Jonathan Wright's number 15. So big shout out on that, on knowing that and remembering that, Whitey. So as we'll save that, because but I do want to give a shout out to Cameron Pente, as Cameron Pente, Betsy Lane Bobcat, got baptized, and that's his coach, Mike Howard, there baptizing him. Just a great moment in high school basketball yesterday, JJ.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime somebody can, get closer to God, I mean, I guess that's the best way I can put it. Like, it's terrific news. It
is. The Cameron, just if you know the kid, he's a special kid, man. On and off the floor. There's no other step. That right there should be the best day in your life.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I recently started going back to church, and I don't get to go as often as I would like to, but every time that I walk through that door, it's like all your problems disappear for 2 hours.
They absolutely do. So let's see what let's do a blind draw real quick.
Uh-oh. Always put me on the spot.
Father turns in 10-year-old son after he allegedly threatened to shoot up school. Now, that's a Florida father. You don't have that one.
Okay.
That's a Florida father. The reason I wanted to bring that up is because yesterday, JJ, a kid, an elementary kid in Betsy Lane, was arrested for terroristic threatening. This is something that we're seeing way too often nowadays, JJ. And I took a lot of heat on Facebook because I said this starts with the parents. I said at the end of the day, if the parents raised the kid right, then we wouldn't be having this issue. And this was a elementary age student arrested, second degree terroristic threatening. Another Floyd County student has been taken into custody following an incident at Betsy Lane Elementary too. So 2 days in a row, kids at Betsy Lane ended up getting arrested for terroristic threatening. I mean, we're talking elementary age kids. Elementary, you're talking probably what, 12 and under.
Well, from elementary, let's see. I think when I was in fourth grade, I was maybe going on 10 years old.
My daughter is in fourth and she's 10. So, and elementary. So you're talking 12 and under kids here. And, I'll just, at 12 years old, I don't know how I could not imagine my daughter ever, threatening to blow up the school, and she knows she knows better at that, because if she did, then we would have a big problem at home, and she knows there's consequences. That's what happens. These parents, there's no consequences at home, and that's why you're seeing more and more of this on a daily basis.
And usually it always does start with the parents. Like every once in a while, you're going to run into a situation where some kids are just born evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the majority of time, like every single time a kid has an issue, like you can trace it back to something that's going on at the house. If a kid is distant, if he's silent, if, they're angry, it could be because if they're distant and silent, it could be because they're not getting attention, or it could be because, they're seeing something at home, there's something's happening to them at home. Like usually, if you look, you can trace the problem the majority of the time. And, if you're getting upset because, we're saying it starts with the parents, then you need to do better.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So JJ, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We just got our guest popped in, so we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with Martin County 2028 stars Bryson Dawes and Macy Maynard coming up next. We'll be right back here on the Startup Morning Show.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall off the bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. I'm Darryl McCoy, JJ Pruitt, and this segment is sponsored by Tommy Maynard Auto Sales, located in Inez, Kentucky. JJ, and we got two very special guests, two of the best 2028 basketball stars. Well, really all-around athletes, Bryson Dawes and Macy Maynard. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, this is I didn't get a come last time when Macy was on. I wasn't here. I was on vacation during that week. But Bryson, JJ, I know Bryson quite well. I got to spend a lot of time with him this summer, and First of all, before we go into the basketball part of it, Bryson, you're quite the tennis player. Tell us a little bit. That's not a sport that a lot of kids you see playing basketball crosses over to. What got you into tennis?
Really, Coach Penix, he just told me to try it out and see how I liked it. And I started playing, and I started liking it. And of course, I made it to the state tournament this year.
Now you got, if I'm not mistaken, you got a older brother that plays.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So who started first?
We started at the exact same time, same day.
Well, now Macy, jumping over to you. Of course, I know you from the hardwood. Do you play any other sports? Do you play volleyball or?
Yeah, right now I'm in volleyball season. We actually had a game last night, and when softball season rolls around, I play it too.
Okay, so definitely, and one thing before we get it over to the basketball, and that's what I want to talk to you two about. But both of you guys have took your training over to Corey Hayes. Talk a little bit about Macy. You go first about what Corey has meant to you.
Like I said last time, me and Corey, I love Corey. We have a bond like this, except for when he starts tickling me, because then I just. But Corey, he knows exactly what you need. He knows how to get you faster, stronger, tougher, mentally and physically. He really knows how to help you out, build your muscle. But he doesn't he'll help you cut weight, but he'll help you build muscle in places you need it. He's really good all around.
Bryson, I've not got to see you since you've been going to Corey Hayes. What has he done for your game?
He's made me a lot stronger already, and went up 10, 15 pounds since I started going over there, straight muscle, and he just gets my body right, makes me more movement, flexibility, way better.
Yeah, and of course with you this year, one of the big questions with you, Bryson, is, you're just an 8th grader coming up, will you be able to, compete, as you face bigger, stronger guards in the 15th region. So, I really like you're putting the work in preparing for that. Was that part of the thought process that you had to get stronger to make sure that you can compete in the region?
Yeah, all people have told me is that I need to get stronger and get in the weight room. And so that's Corey texted me, and I just started going over there.
Well, this summer, that was one thing. I thought you played really well, considering, that you never really had lifted much weights. I thought you competed quite well, but, now that you're doing that, then I think it's just going to take your game to another level because, you're known as both of you two, one of the top 2028 talents. JJ, I know I got quite a few questions for him, but I'm going to let you get to them first.
Well, I got a couple. Macy, it's always good to see you. You're still to this day my favorite interview. So since the last time I spoke to you, one of the things that you mentioned that you was going to work on was your handles. So I personally want to know exactly how you're progressing with that so far.
Our practices, because it's not really practice, as they say, it's open gym. So I'm in volleyball season right now, but I still come to basketball as much as I can. Yesterday we have girls and boys. We kind of mixed and worked out, and our ball handling drills and stuff, I had to do the same ball handling drills he did, and obviously I wasn't quite as good, but I've really been working on. I've been working on a little bit of my moves, between the legs, behind the back, but I'm more focused on just keeping the ball within my reach and in my hands. So I've been working on a lot of different ball handling drills on the move, stationary, stuff like that.
Okay, so what is your favorite ball handling drill that you do so far? Is there a certain one? Do you have a new move in your arsenal that's your favorite to go to?
I really like, and it's super simple, but I really like the fake. Not what's it called? Not the crossover, but when you fake it. I don't know what it's called.
The hezzy.
Yeah, the hezzy. I really like it. Super simple, and I like doing the zigzag ball handling drill.
And that's pretty cool because, a lot of times, like, you don't really have to have that many moves in your bag. You just got to have one or two go-tos. But it's pretty cool that you're, adding all that to your arsenal. Tell me what the volleyball season's been like for you guys so far. Like, is this your first year playing volleyball, or, have you been playing for a couple of years now?
I played volleyball my 7th grade year when I still went to Belfry, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get playing time. I played 7th grade, and I sat the bench for 8th grade A team, and so then I didn't play at all my 8th grade year, and then I picked back up playing this year. And to transition from playing 7th grade B team to high school varsity, the big jump. But I think I've not great, but I think I've progressed pretty well, and my whole team, we're doing way better than anybody would have thought. The Martin County volleyball program has not been very great over the past few years, but it's on like a steady uphill battle. And I think 2 years ago when I wasn't here, they won 2 games all season when they had a different coach. Last year, I think they won 5 games all season. It was the first year with our new coach. And I think this year, when we're halfway through the season, we've already won 7 or 8 games. So we're steadily getting better, and we don't have any seniors on our team this year. So we'll have the exact same team next year.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see you, this year and next year. Bryson, somebody in the comments section, individual by the name of Parker Watts has a quick question for you before I get to you. He wants to know how your love life is.
Actually pretty good right now. I've been talking to a few women here and there on the side. Other than that, I'll just be going from 1 to 1.
Hey.
There you go. Listen, spoken like a true champ, Bryson. Bryson, I got a question. Why, in middle school, you was quite the quarterback. Why did you give up football for tennis?
Well, I didn't really give up football for tennis. It's 2 different seasons, but like.
Oh, so tennis ain't playing right now?
No, tennis is in spring.
All right. So why did you choose not to play football?
Because all my friends said, the teammates on the basketball team told me they wasn't playing, and they all decided to go out on me. So, and I just didn't want to go out late.
Well, it seems like, and listen, myself, I don't think I'm not one. I'm always want to recommend that anybody play multiple sports. That's definitely a big plus, especially college recruiters love and get multi-sport athletes. But I really like the decision that you didn't this year because you're a quarterback, and Devin Maynard is a freak of nature at quarterback. So you would have went and basically, you would have learned behind him for a couple of years before you get your shot, and that's taking valuable time that you could take away from, getting ready for basketball season. And, with you being the point guard, you're going to be the cog that makes this team go this year, So, these 2-3 months that you're going to have in the gym getting ready for basketball, that's going to be very valuable to this team because, the rest of them, they're going to be coming in and they're going to need a leader because they're going to be late, coming in for training and stuff. So they're going to need you and Peyton Davis to step up, especially at the beginning of the season and, kind of get them through till they can get in basketball shape.
Yeah.
But one thing that, also that's what I wanted to talk, you're one of the top 28 yards in the mountains. You're known for shooting your Mr. Logo. You shoot long threes, JJ. I know you don't know Bryson as much, but, he's a Steph Curry type player in middle school. You've kind of got rid of that. Now you've rounded out your game, and, you've become more of an attacker. One thing that stood out to me this summer is, surprisingly, when things got tough, you really stepped it up, man. There was a couple times when I really thought that, Martin County was in trouble. Like, I mean, the guards was having trouble scoring. Our bigs wasn't doing what they should do. We were just facing bigger, stronger competition. But you showed no fear. I mean, you got them over that hump. I remember, and I think it was that WB Du Bois game. You was kind of the one that got them through that rough period. And then once they seen you attacking and scoring, they seen that, hey, if he can do it, we can do it. Just talk about, how you take the court with that, no fear mindset.
Well, I've been playing up my whole life, and just no fear helps me a lot because I've been playing older opponents my whole life. So, like, when we was playing WB Du Bois, I was the one that had our first 9 points that game, and we ended up winning that game. Then, next game we got beat, unfortunately. I don't know who we played, but then we went to Marshall and played against Parkersburg South, and I'd done the same exact thing that game.
Yeah, both games, and that was the thing that stood out to me is, obviously you're going to have learning curves. You're stepping up, in competition. Freshmen normally don't get to play. Both of you are in shape, in a spot where you don't get to play, you get a start. But whenever you talk, do you think having a dad as a coach, do you think that's prepared you a little bit better for your freshman year?
I don't really like having him as my coach. I don't know if he's watching or not, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Well, I tell you, I know he's your AAU coach, and I know you shine on that team with you and Wesley Buck. But just talk about this year here. Preparing for this season. Right now, what besides your strength, what do you got to get better at to make sure that you have the freshman season you're wanting to have?
My footwork. That's what I really need to work on right now. I got the handle. I got everything else. My agility and footwork is what I need, and my defense.
Well, and with strength, your defense will come. That's one thing. I have no question that you'll be where you need to be. Especially if you keep going to Corey's for the next couple months. Whitey Little says you have to guard Bryson from the second he crosses half court. Said the kid can hit it from anywhere. And, I guess one last question before I jump over to Macy. Whenever you're taking this season, obviously Rupp Arena is the team go. But, for you, what do you hope happens out of your freshman season?
Just to get better and improve every day. My goal this year on the team ain't going to be to score. Next year it will be. Because we have Payton and Parker this year. So I'm just looking to make them better, make them score, and I'll just run the offense.
Bryson, I love that. I love that you said that because, it takes a lot. You're an elite scorer. You're not just a good scorer. You're an elite scorer. And for you to recognize that you've got to be the point guard, you got to be the distributor, you got to be the guy that gets the offense rolling. That takes, that takes a lot, to admit that. And, but I think you realize that you got Parker Watts, who's probably the most dynamic player in the 15th region. Then you got Peyton Davis, who is probably the best shooter right now in the region. And, that's something that, most kids wouldn't, they wouldn't come out and admit that. At the end of the day, everybody wants to score. But I really like, and I think colleges are going to like the fact that, you're like, okay, I'm going to do whatever the team needs to win. So definitely much respect for, saying that and admitting that, because if Martin County gets the Rupp, it's going to be on your shoulders because you're the piece that everybody's wanting to see how you react. I think everybody knows how the other ones are going to react. They want to see what Bryson Dawes does. Now, jumping over to Macy. Macy, you learned from a legend, Robin Newsom. Talk a little bit about Coach Newsom and what she means to you.
From my first day at Martin County last summer, not my 8th grade year summer, it was like I was meant to be here. Like, as soon as I walked in, I talked to Coach because, the first time I'd ever talked to Coach Newsom was when I came over here. I'd never had a conversation with her. I was nervous because I was coming to a school that I really didn't even know the coach. And the only player I knew on the team at the time was Lakin. And so I walk in that first day of, open practice, summer ball, and I start talking to Coach Newsom. I start talking to, the girls on the team last year. And from that point, it just progressed. I mean, if I didn't have the memory of me not going to school here my whole life, I would literally think I've been here my entire life from the time I started kindergarten. And Coach Newsom, it's almost like she knows exactly, she's been in the game so long that she knows exactly what she's doing. Like, we're coming down the court, you can look at her and be like, Coach, they're in this defense, and she's already got 4 plays to throw out at you.
Yep.
Or you can say, Coach, they're running this offense. What defense do we need? And she might make up a new defense.
Well, she's forgot more basketball than most know, Macy.
Exactly.
Now, talk about, your teammates this year. I mean, everybody knows you, and y'all graduated so many. What's the blonde-headed girl, the shooter's name?
Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe. You and Chloe's probably 2 of the most notable. But tell us about some of the other players on your team.
Everybody knows, that we graduated 4 seniors who were, I think all 4 of them were 4-year starters. I don't think Kennedy was because she wasn't here her freshman year. But other than that, they were all starters every year they were here. And, everybody across the mountains, they know their names.
Yep.
Everybody's expecting us to be down this year. But the thing that nobody realizes is everybody's down this year. Everybody's had graduating seniors. Everybody's main players has graduated. But I don't think we lost any talent whatsoever. As you said, you have Chloe who, listen, I think Chloe can shoot better than Bryson. I mean, Chloe, every time you give her the ball, she's jacking it, she's making them. And if she's not making them, I'm getting the rebound, and I'm either putting it up or giving it right back to her. And we have, our point guard, Brooke, and she's filling some big shoes. Last year, Lakin was her starting point guard,
Yeah.
and Brooke was more our shooting guard. But this year, Brooke's going to be our point guard, and I don't think she realizes in her mind how good she is. I don't think she realizes she can fill Lakin's shoes. She can be our starting point guard, and she could be our leading scorer too.
Yeah, and obviously, on the bench, y'all got some other really good coaches. Other than Robin, if Macy's having a rough day, what coach do you go to, to talk to when you're having a rough time?
Usually Allie. Scott. She's my girl. If I'm having a rough day on or off the court, all I have to do is, go to Allie, call Allie, come out the game. I sit down next to her, and she really knows how to make you feel better about yourself. Without telling you, oh, you're so good, this and that. She knows how to make you feel better about yourself, but at the same time, let you know, but you need to do this. You know what I mean?
Yep. Now, let me ask you this. We talked about Bryson's dad being a coach. And by the way, Kean Warwick said he had the privilege to coach Bryson this summer, and AAU said great player, but an even better kid. Said proud of you. So Coach Warwick's tuning in, Bryson. We talk about him, but you're also a coach's kid, Macy. Your dad, one of the best post players to come out of Williamson, West Virginia. Does he ever get the time to hit the gym with you and work on your post moves?
Yeah. Me and my dad, we hit the gym as much as we can, and I love playing against him. Letting him play defense on me and let me do my post moves because he's tall, he's strong, he's exactly what I need for to play against. Because I know I'm never going to play against a girl that's as big as my dad or as strong as my dad. But that's if I play against him, and I get used to playing.
Unless you're playing against your mom, right?
Oh Lord. But if I get used to playing against somebody who's bigger and stronger than me, and playing against girls who are smaller than me and not as strong as me, I mean, I'll be 10-1 ready to play against them. Yeah. And my dad right now, which I hope he's watching, I hope you guys tell him that he's completely wrong. My dad right now thinks that he can beat me in a foot race. Like, down, just not even down the back, just down the court, he thinks that he can beat me by like 2 feet. And we haven't had the chance to test it out yet. But when I do test it out, don't worry, I'll be posting it on Facebook and I'll tag you guys in it.
Absolutely, tag it. We may come and video that one, Macy. He, and I don't know. Your dad was an athlete, but he's getting up there in age. I think you might could get him right now.
I know I got him for sure.
Bryson, we know Macy puts a lot of work in the academics. How's your life on the academic side? Do you put a lot of focus on it, or?
I'm 4.0, but Macy's my main reason. I'll be texting her, Macy, what's the answers? 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock. No, but really, I'm really smart in the academics, but I've never had a B or anything, and I have a lot of focus on academics. I know that means a lot to college coaches. So,
well, they go ahead, JJ. Do you have a question?
Well, I've got one last one. It's from an individual by the name of Parker Watts once again. He wants to know you versus Chloe May in a shootout. Who's got it?
This theory has been tested, and I won.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you. Chloe's a good shooter, but I don't think she wants that smoke.
No.
Bryson is what I would call an elite shooter. He's that's definitely the strength of his game. And Bryson, talk about that. Growing up in middle school, why did you? Was it just growing up? It seemed like you shot a lot because it didn't seem like you liked contact very much growing up in middle school. But now you've completely transitioned your game to where you're more of a driver than even a shooter now.
Well, everybody knows me now. They're like picking me up, so I can't get the shot off as easy no more. Like I used to go places and they'd be like, don't know me, so I could shoot. But now everybody knows me, so I have to drive, and that leaves Peyton, Parker, Devin, Eastep open. So it's gonna be easier for us.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. When you take and look at this team this year, to me, it looks like y'all's Achilles heel is probably depth. When you go to the bench, you got Allen and Eli there, but especially when you got Devin, Devin gets in foul trouble or one of your big dogs get in foul trouble, then how are y'all going to overcome that? And who are some of the kids that that normal people, I know them, but some of the other kids that need to step up and play a big role for y'all this year?
Eli, Allen, and Jackson Pack, they're both all three of them going to play big roles for us. If Allen and Pack can't step into that spot when Devin's in foul trouble, which is going to be a lot. We saw that this summer. But if they can't step into that, then we ain't going to be very good.
Yeah, and that's what, whenever you take, now I know you got a couple of young guns that's in your age group, and you got Chase Hinkle and Aiden. Talk a little bit about them two and what the future is for them.
They're of course in Corey Hayes with me, so they got to get stronger. Aiden, and we got Braden Markham too. So when we get junior and seniors, we'll be just fine again. We'll be contenders. But JC is going to be the main favorites then. But our senior year, we'll have me, Markham, Pack, Aiden, and that's really going to be it for us. We'll have Markham running the one then, and I'll be probably playing off ball. But I think we'll be fine once Devin and Parker and all them graduate.
Oh, I don't think you'll. I don't think you'll have an issue at all. Because even next year, I think y'all was going to be a lot better than people think because you still return Devin, Eli, Allen. So you're going to have a nice group of seniors next year as well. Whenever, and of course, with you, Jackson Pack, Aiden Copeland, and Chase Hinkle, y'all play AAU together, so the chemistry, is there. Talk about, this year here, we talked about Macy's coaches. Talk about your coaches. Who are the coaches that really help you along and that you draw to on your bench?
PJ Harris. Every time something goes wrong, he pulls me to the side and tells me what's going on and what I need to fix. And he never says a bad word to me or tells me I'm doing. He always tries to bring me up when I'm doing something bad, when I do something wrong. So he's the main person that helps me get by.
Well, and PJ is outstanding. Much respect for PJ, and the thing I like about Jared Crum there too is, he seems to be the guy that defensively is the guy that gets y'all where y'all need to be. He's probably the one that works you the hardest, right?
Yes. When we come to practice, we see Jared. We know it's going to be a tough day every time.
JJ, before I get to some fan questions for him, you go ahead and finish off with them.
Well, Bryce, I'm a little curious, man. Who are some people that you modeled your game after? I mean, I always ask the people that, I interview, like, I want to learn a little bit about, their upbringing and stuff. I would love to know, like, who's some people, like, whether it's, a cousin that you grew up playing with or your favorite NBA player, like, who's some people that, you tried to take some of their parts of their game and implement it into yours?
Taylor Kinney, he went to OTE. I love watching him play. Then Travis Perry, I love watching him play. And I just model my game after them two, really. And Reed Shepard, love him. But mostly Taylor Kinney and Travis Perry, who I model my game after.
So is this your how many years have you played on the high school level? Is this going to be your first year? Because going into,
No, this will be my third year. I didn't play none my 7th grade year, but we still won All A and region that year. And then last year we was, of course, in both of the championship games.
Who's been some of your toughest opponents that you've seen so far, like since you've been playing?
Evangel Christian, they was really tough down at All A. Then we played the team out of New York last year, and they was like unreal. It was like the number 1 team in New York. We played them out in Vegas. Then we played another prep school that Tim Duncan's son played on. They was really good. That's the 3 toughest.
And Bruce Bowen's son was on that team too, I think, right?
Yeah, he had 2 sons on that team.
Yeah.
He was the coach.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Have you tell me what the 1v1s are like with you and some of your teammates, like Peyton and Parker. Have you had a chance to 1v1 them any?
Me and Peyton are usually really close, but Parker, he's just a freak athlete. I just can't guard him, but that's the only one that I have trouble with, 1v1.
Well, if anything, playing against somebody like him, I mean, if you do get to the point to where you can contain him just a little bit, it's like, well, if I can contain this kid, then, anybody else in the region it's going to be easy.
Yeah. We play a lot of 2v2s and 3v3s over here on our free time for fun during, like, Saturdays or Sundays, but other than that, we really don't play very much.
So, talk to me about some of the rivalries or, like, some of the teams that you enjoy playing the most. Like, who do you look forward to playing the most this season? Like, is there certain teams on your radar?
Yes, Johnson Central. I love playing them. Like, both times I played those, I had 21 here, and then I had 13 or 15 over there.
Oh, wow. So is Johnson Central one of the teams, like, you're going to see most likely in the regional tournament? Like, is that going to be your biggest challenge? Yeah. Or
they're in our district, too, so we have to play them 3 times a year pretty much. So,
now, whenever you take and look, Bryson, you was thrown into the fray a little early last year. And I thought there was times, I thought district, I thought you played really well. And then I thought once you got to region, I thought your youth showed a little bit. Talk about, being able to play as an 8th grader and, the good and the bad things that come with that and what you learned.
Well, really, I didn't even expect to get a play last year until Dre got hurt. And then JJ was like, be ready in Vegas. I was like, okay. And I didn't even practice hardly none or do any plays, and I just got thrown out there. So it was really cool come down to districts at Paints. Well, no, districts was here, and that was really packed out, and it's a different experience when you're playing in the 57 district.
Yeah, and then once you got to region, I thought that was the only time last year that I thought the moment was too big for you. I thought that I thought you put a lot on your shoulders and you rushed a little bit. I think it was the first, not the game that y'all lost, but the game that y'all won. I thought that, when you come out, I thought you was putting a little too much pressure on yourself. But, credit, the coaching staff. It seemed like they kind of slowed you down a little bit and let things come to you.
Yeah.
But, as when you sit there, and before we go into some fan questions, Macy, you just, I want to ask you, you just got ranked pretty high in your state rankings. Talk a little bit about, tell folks where you ranked right now amongst the bigs and overall.
Overall, in the state of Kentucky, I'm ranked at number 8. But I'm ranked currently as the number 1 center in the state of Kentucky. But, it's really seeing that top 10 list, even the top 15 list, is actually crazy to me because my current teammates are the number 1, number 5, number 6, and number 11. And I think number 14 or 13, those are my current teammates on my KYP team. And then my former teammates, people I've played with in the past, I've played with the number 3, the number 7, 9, and 10 players. So out of the top 10, I think there's only 2 people I've never played with.
Now, whenever, like you worked your tail off, everybody knows you around here, back, if I'm going to be honest with you, back 2 years ago, I would have never dreamed you would have turned out the player that you turned because I didn't see your work ethic where it needed to be. Like before you got to Martin County, at Belfry, I don't think that you put in the work that you needed to. You would at times, but something changed over the last 2 years. When did that flip switch and you decided you wanted to be a great player?
I'm not gonna lie. My 7th grade, before I played up my 7th grade year for the high school, I really didn't care about basketball. Like I kind of I started playing because my mom and my old coach Matt Thornsberry, they were friends, and I just started playing, and then I made friends, so I kept playing. And then my 7th grade year, when I played up for the high school, we played against good teams, like people I know, Kiera, Trinity, Lakin, Katie. They were all out, getting offers, getting better, playing against them and watching them play. I was like. I want people to talk about me like that. I want to get offers. I want to be, plastered all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like I want people to know my name too. And so, after that, my 7th grade high school season, everybody knew we were good during middle school. But when you play it for the high school, it was totally different. And when I thought I was good in middle school, I got to high school and I sucked.
Yep.
So, I really wanted to get better, but I didn't really have the resources that I have now at Belfry, or I didn't have as much exposure, as much opportunities. And then I came over to Martin County, and I came over here, I think on I don't know, it might have been like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And then, that Thursday, I was already going to Corey's. We was already working out. We had already started summer ball games. And I think I came to Martin County, and there's 2 weeks of summer ball, 3 weeks of summer ball. During summer ball, from the time summer ball started to the time it ended, I think I lost 22 pounds in that 2 or 3 week period. And after that point in time, I was like, I really think that, I want to start taking it serious.
Well, that's when, I personally, I've seen you take, a course over the last year, but right now, I mean, I think the more mobile that you're getting, you've worked on your shot, you're able to pull people out, and with handles, you're going to be able to take and drive by them. I mean, I really like that you're focusing on what you're weak at instead of, a lot of people hit the gym and all they want to work on is what they're good at. They would rather put videos out of them doing the same thing every day that they do. And they don't realize that's not how you get better. You get better at attacking your weak spots. And I think you've done a good job of that, Macy.
I agree. Thank you. One thing which, every time I get in the gym, I'm always dribbling or shooting with my left hand. Sometimes I shoot form shots with my left hand because I know, obviously my right hand's not perfect, but
Yeah.
I know I'm primarily right-handed. And so when I get in the gym, I want to work on my left hand because I know it's my weaker side. And I think I've gotten to the point where in a game, my left hand is my first option, where I've worked on it so much. And, I'm always pounding in my head, like, working your left hand, working your left hand. I think I've gotten to the point where when I get the ball, on the right-handed side and I turn towards the basket, I don't ever think about shooting with my right hand. I always think about shooting with my left.
Jumping over to Bryson, I think even myself, I forget about you a lot whenever we're doing like 2028 lists and stuff because you didn't play middle school ball your 8th grade season. So I think a lot of people forget that you're still in that 2028 class. But when you take and look at Andrew Terry from Owsley County, Nick Prater from Perry Central, then Connor Morgeson, DRC, then you got Dakota Dalton, Chapmanville. Have you had a chance to play against them other top players? And if so, how did you fare against them?
Well, actually, me, Connor, and Nick are all good buddies. And I play with Connor all the time. And Nick, I've played with him. But I've played against Dakota. I've never played against Andrew before. But Dakota, we played him in Chapmansville. I mean, not in Chapmansville, against Chapmansville this summer. You was probably there.
Yeah.
And it was not a close game that game. But me and Connor, we've all played together. And then me and Nick, we went to a few camps this summer together.
Yeah. Now, right now is, how is it? Of course, I would say you probably have to like Peyton Davis coming back, joining basketball early. But, how do you keep focused and what's your goal knowing that, the majority of your starting lineups out on the football field? So, what are you trying to do as a good teammate right now to make sure your team's ready for when they come back?
I'm trying to push the players that's not playing football, like the younger ones, to get better. Like the ones that played middle school or the ones just now starting playing. But make sure they get better and they're ready for the season also.
That's huge because at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones that, when y'all go to that bench, somebody's going to have to step up. We've talked about a few of them, but I really think you're going to need Copeland or Hinkle one to, step up at certain times this season. And, this is their chance to get better. This is their chance to get on the court.
You never know who's going to get hurt, roll an ankle, and you're going to have to find somebody off the bench. Last year, I never expected to play then. Of course, Dre got hurt, sadly, but then I had to play.
Yeah, and that's what you got to tell them. You as a freshman, how does it? I know as a point guard, that's normally a team's leader, and you got to be the one that is really letting everybody know where they need to be. But as a freshman, how does the team respond to having their leader, their point guard being a freshman? I mean, do they listen to you?
Yeah, they actually do listen to me, but I don't ever say no bad things to nobody on the basketball court. I'm always a positive person. They miss a shot, good shot, get back and play defense. I never say anything negative to them. So they don't ever say anything to me. I'll just put us in the offense, bring them up. I'm always the positive person on the team. Devin's getting mad, saying something. I'm like, Devin, keep your head up, bro. You got this. Parker going over there. But I never say anything negative to nobody. It's always positivity.
That's a good leader. That's the sign of a good leader, Bryson. And real quick, I want both of you to, sell us on Martin County. Why is Martin County the best school in the region?
Well, boys-wise, we've been to. Let me think here. Of course, we won in 2020. 2021, we would have won. Trey went to college earlier. This is all of Martin County resume, not the Oaksville and Clark. We're at a whole new school now. Yeah. We would have made it back to back, I think. Then 2022, I think. When was that? That was
Brady's senior year, I think.
That was Brady's senior year.
Yeah.
We wasn't no good that year. No offense. But then we came back, bounced back, and won region. Then we won. We should have won last year. So I think our resume puts us on top.
Yeah. Now, what does the school offer? What's it like going to school up there? Tell people. I mean, y'all got a small college up there on the hill.
Yeah, we really do. We're getting a football field up here. We're getting tennis courts. Everything's just going to come along. We're getting facilities. I mean, school's really easy up here. If you're an athlete, easy. You ain't doing nothing. So it's like a college.
Wow.
Well, Macy, you tell us what makes it special for you.
One thing that I love about Martin County, because we all know Belfry football. I come from a very football heavy school. If it's not football, nobody cares. But the thing I love about Martin County is everybody cares about everything. Our football team's really good. They're doing really good this year. Everybody cares because who doesn't love high school football? And our soccer team's doing really good as well. And everybody cares about that. We have pep rallies for them. And then when our season rolls around, girls and boys basketball, everybody comes to games. Everybody supports us. Everybody loves, because that's Martin County's main thing is basketball. Everybody loves our basketball games, comes to them, pep rallies all the time. And then, softball and baseball season start up. And our softball team isn't great, but
they're baseball.
Neither is the baseball team. But, they're getting better. And people still come out and support them too. So even our tennis team did really good last year. Like Bryson said, him and Carter both went to state. And so our golf team does really good. Everybody just comes out and supports everybody. That's one thing that I love about Martin County.
Yeah, and I love that the administration does an amazing job making sure that you guys, have your moment. So when y'all sign at colleges, they do a great job of signing days. Robin Newsom is one of the best at promoting her players. She's a lot like one of our co-owners here, David Jones at D&D. She puts kids in places in college where they don't need to be. That's just the kind of person she is. She's going to promote and do what she needs to do to get you where you need to go. Right, Macy?
That's one thing that I'll say about Coach Newsom is, and this is to anybody in the region, if you want to go to college, Christy Orm and Robin Newsom are two of the biggest women's basketball coaches in the region that will get you to college. When my highlight reel came out, Coach Newsom was sending it to all sorts of coaches. She sent it to the Marshall, the Moorhead coach, the Louisville coach, the Kentucky coach. She sent it, and obviously, she doesn't expect them to open that and give me an offer. That's not why she's doing it. She's doing it to make sure, I'm on people's radars. And all four of our seniors last year, all four of them signed to go somewhere and play. Yep. Lakins, she signed to Moorhead, but she went to Shawnee, which she's doing great there. Katie and Alyssa both signed to go to Alice Lloyd to play basketball. And then Kennedy signed to UPike, and she's not playing ball, but she's still cheering. So she got an athletic scholarship for all four of our seniors last year.
Well, that and I'll always say it. Robin Newsom is is probably the best at that when it comes to girls basketball. And, she knows what it takes to get the job done and make sure that, her players are able to, if they dream of playing next level, that they're able to play next level. And, Bryson, one thing that definitely, I'm excited this year because one thing I've seen this summer is you and Parker Watts have a pretty good dynamic. I think there's a good chance that Parker Watts leads the Mountains in dunks this year. And I would say half of them's probably going to come from oops from you. That's something you kind of mastered between playing with Parker and Wesley Buck. It seems like you've mastered the alley-oop.
Yes, I have. Wesley, I hope he's watching. I love him. He's one of my favorite friends off the court. And hopefully he'll make a move soon. But Wesley and Parker, then I got Devin. I had Braden last year. I always have people that can jump around me at all times. And it helps when you have a bond off the court like me and Wesley have, me and Parker have. So that also helps.
Yeah, I think that, to me, Devin Maynard's probably one of the most underrated athletes in the region. People don't realize what an athlete that kid is, and he's another kid that plays above the rim. I think people's going to see a different Devin Maynard than what they're used to this season.
Yes, Devin, he's a freak athlete. He's just not been like, we've had so many people around him the last few years that he hasn't got the attention he should get. He's a top prospect in the Mountains, big man wise, no doubt in my mind. He's developed a jump shot since football and since summer ball. That helps him a lot. He's jumping a lot better. Football, I don't know, but he's a freak athlete in football.
If you haven't seen him play football, oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
He's D1 bound in football.
I agree 100%. And, the one thing, let me ask you this, playing with Peyton Davis, one of the toughest, hard-nosed guards that you'll ever find, and it seems like Peyton tries to step up and, be a mentor to younger players on his team. Talk a little bit about what Peyton's meant to your game.
Peyton, me and Peyton work out a lot together, and he's always there for somebody when they need something. He's just a positive person. And I have to he gets his in his own head sometimes. I have to tell him. So, but that goes both ways. He tells me what I'm doing, so it helps out a lot.
Well, that's good. You two, I got to think it's going to be hard to find a better backcourt than you two this year. So, going to be very exciting there. Now, let's get to our fan questions, JJ. What is Macy's favorite cereal?
My favorite cereal. I would say Frosted Flakes or Fruity Pebbles because I had to get the shoes to match them. So.
Oh, okay. Bryson, what's your favorite cereal?
I actually had some this morning, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's old folks cereal.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what is your favorite college basketball team?
Kentucky.
Right. What about you, Macy?
I would say UConn or South Carolina.
Okay. Now, Macy. Well, let me ask you this: Caitlin Clark. What has she meant to the sport of girls basketball?
I think that Caitlin Clark has really been the jump that women's basketball needed. I think that we were constantly kind of on an uprising, but I think that, Caitlin Clark in college, and especially, everybody thought she was going to the league and she'd get shut down, but she made it to the league and she's still doing her thing. I think that, she has boosted the game as a whole, not even just the college and pro level. Even like little elementary girls like Inez and Eden and Warfield, they look up to her so much, and it's just to help women's basketball as a whole. Because all girls want to play now. Everybody wants to be good. Everybody wants to be the next Caitlin Clark.
I agree 100%. Bryson, who is your favorite player that you're looking forward to play or watching or this season? That whether it's a college prospect that's in college or one that's coming up in that's been in college or one that's coming into college.
I like watching Travis Perry, and then that Kobe Bria from the transfer to Kentucky. I want to watch him. That's my two favorite players.
Listen, I would be lying. I'm a diehard UK fan, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I'm excited for Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, Cooper Flagg. It's going to be an absolute freak.
Yes, he is. It's going to be fun to watch him this year. Now, let me ask you this: if you was if I could say, Macy, I'm gonna buy you your dream car. What's your dream car?
Ooh, I would say a baby blue Bronco, the soft top.
Oh, okay, going with the soft top. The Bryson, what's yours?
I haven't actually thought about this, but I'm trying to think. It would definitely be. I don't know really. Probably like a Ram truck or something like that. I don't really think about that a lot.
That's not surprising coming from a Martin County boy. It's a truck.
Yeah.
So
something like Luke Hellgott's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now let me ask you this: favorite pro basketball team, Bryson?
The Warriors.
What about you, Macy?
Men's, the Lakers. I'm a diehard Lakers fan. But women's, right now, I'm loving the Aces. Love them.
Okay. All right. Now, if you could play any sport that you don't currently play and you think you're good at, what sport would it be, Macy?
Me, pickleball. Rob's laughing at me, but I'm such a good pickleball player. If we had a Martin County pickleball team, you're looking at two of the starters.
All right.
Maybe one, not you.
Now, Bryson, what about you?
Well, football. I used to play it, but other than that, probably soccer.
Soccer, okay.
I think I'd be good.
Yeah, so neither one of y'all joining the Martin County bass fishing team?
No.
My brother, I ain't no good. My oldest brother, he fishes at KCU right now.
Oh, okay. All right. What's his name?
Cameron Dowles.
Cameron Dowles. Okay. The
lights went out.
They got motion detected lights there, JJ.
Okay.
Yeah, they're big time at Martin County. Now let me ask you this: obviously, I think we may know Bryson's, but Macy, if you had your dream college to go to, where would it be?
Oh, my dream basketball-wise, I would say UConn or South Carolina or UCLA. But outside of basketball, probably Howard, Harvard, or still UCLA. I don't know why, but I love UCLA.
All right. Going out west. Bryce, I gotta think yours is Kentucky, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when we take and catch up with you this season, getting ready before the game, what's playing in Macy's iPod or a playlist?
Now everybody's about to make fun of me. But my go-to song before a game is Vienna by Billy Joel. That's my go-to song before a game. I don't know why, I love it. Like, it calms me down. Like, I'm one that if I listen to hot music before a game, I'm everywhere. I'm scatterbrained. I'm shaking. Like, I get nervous. I just need something to calm me down. I listen to Billy Joel as soon as I put my headphones on, and then I listen to like 90s and 2000s R&B on the way there, and I play Billy Joel again before I take my headphones off.
Okay, Bryson, what do you listen to?
Big X Plug and OT 720.
That dude is trash, Bryson.
That's Darryl's favorite rapper.
Trash.
OT 720, then Nardo Wick, and Jay-Z. That's my go-to.
I've heard of one of them. Well, two, because I listened to the trash that OT7 Quantity put out, thanks to Caleb Rimmer. But what was the first guy's name? And we'll listen to it today.
Big X Plug.
Big X Plug. All right, JJ, you write that down. Big X Plug.
I know who he is. He's actually pretty good.
All right. Now we see Bryson all over TikTok dancing. Who's the better dancer between you two?
No, it's definitely me. Bryson does not know how to dance.
I can't dance, but I like dancing.
All right.
Now, if you can find Parker Watts or E-Step, they're probably outside in the hallways dancing right now.
So Macy, your dance moves are a little better than Bryson's?
Oh, yeah. We'll be walking down the hallways at school, and Bryson just stops and starts dancing. It's so embarrassing. I just walk away from him. He looks like a roadkill trying to dance. It's bad.
Well, is there any way you can teach him?
No, there's no helping him.
No hope for him.
I have to send him to like Abbey Lee Dance Company or something to help him.
Well, I tell you what, guys. We kept you on a lot longer than we wanted today, but we figured we don't get a chance to catch up with both of you quite often, and especially with school starting. October 15th is the start of basketball. How excited are you two?
You can go first.
I'll be excited because I won't be here. I'll be on my cruise. So I think Coach Newsom's going to kill me and probably make me run extra. But my birthday is the 16th, and so I'll be gone that whole week.
Oh, okay. So you're missing the first week of basketball. What about you, Bryson? How excited are you?
I'm pumped, but it's going to be a little different this year because we don't have all our players. It's going to be like the younger ones stepping up, and because we'll be missing Devin, Parker, and E-Step. But I'm still excited.
Well, let me and one last question here for you is the Zip Zone Classic is known as the biggest preseason basketball tournament in Eastern Kentucky, easy, maybe the entire state. Talk a little bit about how what that tournament means to you, and how exciting are you to play in that every year against some top teams?
I'm really excited. I already know who we're playing. I'll go ahead and it's spoil, but I don't know if JJ wants me to tell, but I'll go ahead and say.
Yeah, tell us.
George Washington out of Charleston.
Okay, G-Dub. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm 90% sure that's who we're playing.
That's a big game, and I think the schedule's out there somewhere, so hopefully he don't get too mad at you. But the Macy, talk about Zip Zone for girls. People don't think of it for girls, but Martin County plays every year. Talk about how exciting it is to play in front of them thousands of fans.
I think it's really exciting. Last year, who was it that played? Lyon County and Great Crossing. They played right before us, and it was so embarrassing because they all played, and there's this big old crowd there, and we came out on the court and started warming up, and everybody started leaving. But it's still awesome to play in front of all those fans and everything, and we get to watch all the really good boys teams play beforehand, and so it's just a good experience.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, Macy. Normally, I'm there from start to finish all day long. So when y'all's game comes, that's normally the time that I step out to go get me some lunch. But this season, I'm not going to be doing that because I'm going to be watching because, I really enjoy watching your game. So, I'm going to have to find another game to go grab lunch at. But, I'm looking forward to watching both of you. Bryson, you have far exceeded my expectations after watching this summer, man.
Thank you.
I thought that I didn't think that you was ready until I watched you play this summer, and I was like, well, the Achilles heel is going to be Bryson at point guard. Listen, you're not an Achilles heel; you're the strength, of this team. Had a really good summer, and keep that no fear attitude up because your team's going to need you to step up big. Even though you're a freshman, you're going to have a monster row on this team. And if y'all get to Rupp, it's going to be because Bryson Dawes had a spectacular season. So, you and Macy both keep working. And October 15th, when season starts, we're going to have to get you guys to come back on and join us if that's okay. Tell us how season.
We'll
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No problem. Y'all enjoy your day at school, and we'll catch up with you in INS soon.
You too.
See you guys. JJ, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be right back for our final rundown.
Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
In America, what does that mean? It means jobs. It means craftsmanship. And when it comes to Vaughan Bassett furniture, it means value. And Kemper recognizes that. That's why they've dedicated an entire gallery to Vaughan Bassett. Made in America. See the quality. And now, see the price. Come see your favorite Kemper store in Hazard, London, or Somerset.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy here, as this segment is sponsored by Hayes Training System. If you're wanting to get better at your craft, call Corey Hayes today. Corey Hayes Training System, the best at when it comes to making sure that student athletes are able to achieve their dreams. He will get your body ready, JJ.
Absolutely, and his resume speaks for itself.
You are 1,000% honest with that. So we got a lot of people that's been tuning in, JJ. A lot of comments coming in. As Kobe Holland says, I hope they go back to back and win titles this year. Said, is he ready to go get a championship this year? Talking about Bryson. And we got a lot more comments coming in as well. Terry Jackson says, what kind of names? Jason Webster says, two great kids and ball players right there. Macy said, everybody knows your name. Whitey, you are 100% right. I don't think anybody don't know who Macy Maynard is right now, JJ.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't know she was ranked that high. I mean, that's a freshman. That's so impressive. But, that was your first time getting to set with Bryson. I'm telling you, man, JJ, that kid right there, if he puts his nose to the grindstone, he continues to work. He could be, we mentioned the top players in that class. He could be by far the best one with just his tools and attributes that he already possesses if he works. Absolutely. And he already mentioned earlier what he's, he felt like his weakness was, which was his defense and his footwork. So he already has an idea of what he needs to do to get better. And, I like his level of confidence, going in as a really young, prospect and, taking on the responsibility of having to deal with, the upperclassmen, and I think he's going to do a really good job this season. Like, I really do.
I agree with you. Martin County, it's their region to lose right now. So, them and Johnson Central are the heads-on favorites.
Absolutely. So,
JJ, as we go, let's talk a little bit. Listen, it's a little uncomfortable after having two student athletes on going transitioning this topic, but, it's obviously one of the biggest stories in America right now, P. Diddy. More and more continues to come out about P. Diddy, JJ. I don't know if you've seen, but have you seen the list of names that is set to be released by the FBI that attended his freak parties?
Go ahead and ruin my childhood.
Have you seen the list?
I've seen a couple of lists, but I haven't seen a
Okay.
list from a valid source. I've just seen lists on TikTok, but I don't know like which one's a credible list.
This will soon be named by the feds list of names that attended his party. Steve Stout. I don't know who that is. Do you?
I think he's an A&R.
Okay. Russell Simmons.
We definitely see. Was he the CEO of Def Jam at one point?
Yeah.
Or?
No, he is the Russell Simmons. He was part of Run DMC.
Yeah.
Then Eve. We all remember Eve from the 90s. Aaron Hall. I don't know who that is. Jay-Z. Beyonce. Rick Ross. Steve J. Don't know who that is.
Stevie J.
Dr. Dre. Meek Mill. Drake. The Game. Justin Bieber. Lil Rod. Cuba Gooding Jr. Usher. Young Miami. Daphne Joy. I don't know. I hope I'm saying that right. Daphne Joy. Bishop T.D. Jakes. Chris Brown. Jade Ramey. And last but not least, everybody in today's youth, GOAT, LeBron James.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so some big heads are going to be turning whenever that list comes out, JJ. But, if there's a couple there that don't surprise me being there, it would be definitely Chris Brown. Not surprised that he's been to one of them parties. Cuba Gooding Jr. doesn't surprise me that he has. And Rick Ross. Those are three that don't surprise me.
I'm surprised at how short that list is. I mean,
this is just the ones that the feds, I guess, have got to right now.
Yeah, because one of the articles that I read mentioned they got enough footage from over 15 years. He had been, you documenting all of this stuff to have blackmail on these individuals in the future. And, apparently they've got 15 years worth of stuff. So I would imagine that list is probably going to be 3 or 4 pages long.
Yeah. It's sad to say, but, I tell you what, if I was him, I would demand that there's cameras in my cell 24/7. I'll tell you that. Because there's no way that people's going to let him speak on some of the stuff that's going on. And I catch myself now daily. I ain't got much time, but whenever I do get time to sit on my phone, I just go on TikTok, man, and it's one video after another, just insane. The stuff that people are saying that went on at these parties. One of the guys from The Sopranos, I seen a video. If you get a chance, he's the comedian guy, big heavyset guy. If you get a chance, go watch the video. What he said happened at a P. Diddy party. I really hate this. I hate that another 90s rapper is going down like this, but something's got to be done, man. I mean, it's all too prevalent, and I think we're just scratching the surface with P. Diddy. I think there's going to be a lot more stuff that comes out that's going to blow people's minds.
Well, the thing about the 90s, you have to remember, we always keep saying, what is it with the 90s rappers? It's they didn't have as much technology back then as they do today. So a lot of that stuff most likely flew under the radar because, you didn't have cell phones where people could quietly pull them out and hit the record button. It was much more difficult to probably catch people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can guarantee that. And, the other big thing, and right now, Diddy's music streams jump after his arrest and indictment. Well, JJ, he's going to need the surge from that, because I'm sure he's going to have a lot of lawyer bills.
Yeah, I seen where it's they saw an average of an 18% increase in his music, and he made good music at the end of the day. And it's one of those situations like, can you separate the art from the person? Then there's some instances where I guess like you're not going to be able to, and this one might be one of those.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, the stuff I'm interested in seeing is, does anything come from the Tupac case, where he was allegedly paid that Keefe D or whatever, $1 million. Yeah, and so. That's probably the most anticipating part of it that I'm anticipating, is seeing what comes out from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I'm telling you, it's been a reality show. 2024 has been a reality show, like from start to finish. Like, I know we've had a lot of other crazy years, but this one's been insane.
JJ, the Washington Commanders defeat the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Tell us a little bit about this one. Jaden Daniels went off.
Well, the final score was 38-33. Let me see if I can pull up the passing yards. So Daniels, he ended up throwing for 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 21 for 23, Darryl. That is absolutely unbelievable. And then Joe Burrow, he went for 324 yards, 29 for 38, and 3 touchdowns. Now, the thing that's the most surprising to me, Darryl, is this Cincinnati Bengals team. Because, you think, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they was in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And then the following year, or the following year after that, they was literally one penalty away from being back at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that was with Burrow injured.
Yeah, and, there was one play they played against the Chiefs in the playoffs, and was it a pass interference call? Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people question whether or not it was pass interference or whether it should have been called. And, they were literally one penalty away from being back at the Super Bowl. So for them to be 0-3 right now, I mean, it's very surprising to me.
That was a huge win for the Commanders last night. The Commanders needed that win on national television, because they're almost a forgotten franchise anymore now that, they've took the Redskins name away. By the way, I see the lawsuit from the Native Americans wanting the Redskins back. That's something, that I don't think ever should have been took away from the Redskins. They took it as a slight or negative gesture, I guess, toward Native Americans, call them Redskins. But I guess now the Native Americans are saying that, that honored a chief, and that's true. Who else really thinks about Indians until you would have seen like the Washington Redskins or one like that? So, I do hate, and I hope one day they change it back to Redskins. But, the Commanders, to say that right there is a franchise-changing win. When you can knock off one of the top teams like the Bengals on Monday Night Football with everybody watching, that right there, could get a lot of momentum behind this franchise. And, it's just something that, I don't know that any team needed it more than Washington did.
Absolutely. And I keep thinking back to the first year that they changed the name of the team. They called them the Washington Football Team.
Yeah.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
And I do, it does make me wonder, like, whenever they chose to change the name, like, who were the people that were complaining the most? Was it the Native Americans, or was it other people that thought that, they would be offended, but they turned out not to be offended?
Exactly. No, you hit nail on the head, JJ, right there. Yeah. Too many people didn't have a dog in the fight, bringing it up. All right, JJ, let's go next topic.
Let's see what you got for me.
Prisons in the Netherlands are closing down due to a shortage of criminals.
Now, I thought this was pretty fascinating. I saw a TikTok video about it. I'm not 100% sure how true it is, but yeah, I mean, it just makes you wonder, like, that's you would think that, like,
it's true. I went and read some articles last night
That's so fascinating to me that they're like, it's the crime rate is down so low in an entire country that they literally have to use these prisons as shelters and homeless shelters and selling to people. It's like,
well, what it is the Netherlands, the Dutch, they focus on reform instead of, punishment. And, they said that, it's had a massive impact on the way that their communities are, because, they're not, when these people mess up, they're figuring out ways to fix these people instead of just putting them back into society. And you're not having that overturned. And, they said over 19 federal prisons in the Netherlands have shut down, and many more are expected to close this year.
Well, you got to think, Darryl, like in the United States, we have what you call for-profit prisons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many we have, but we do have some. So every time a prisoner is in one of these prisons, they're making money off of them. So a lot of times you may run into some places that don't really care whether you're, reformed. Don't really care if you're rehabilitated. They just want the money.
Yep, I agree 100%. Now, one of the biggest chain stores, Kmart, blue light fades to black with the shutting of its last full-scale U.S. store. JJ, this upsets me.
I think I might be more upset than you because Kmart was my childhood. I can remember going to the mall each and every single weekend in Williamson, and going to Kmart was one of my favorite things to do. And then I'm pretty sure there was a Kmart in Pikeville as well. Or near the Pike. Wasn't there one in Pike County somewhere?
I can't remember if there was one in Pikeville. I wouldn't doubt it, but there very well could have been. But Kmart, I can remember the last time I went to a Kmart was probably 2012 or so in Charleston, West Virginia was the last time I visited a Kmart. And, it's just something, it was the first, I guess one of the first stores that people will remember, it was Walmart-esque, and then I remember when Kmart went out of business at the mall, Magic Mart come in, it just really changed the whole complexion of the mall.
Absolutely. Are you talking about the Kmart that was in, before you get to St. Albans?
I don't know. It's like when you come right off the exit.
Yeah, and you keep
right there
you pass Bob Evans, and because I know that there used to be one in St. Albans when I lived there years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if it was it could have been. Yeah, it might have been the same one.
But I'll tell you, one of the things I remember the most about Kmart as a kid was the Little Caesars pizza at the mall.
Yeah, that come later in my in life in teens. Whenever Little Caesars come in, in my childhood, when I was a kid, Kmart didn't have a Little Caesars, and then later on in life they put one in there.
Yeah, and I thought that was, to this day, I don't know what they did with the recipe, but the pizza was much different back then.
Yeah, the Kmart definitely one of the best pound for pound chain stores that you'll ever go to. Now, let's see what else we got, JJ. Gunman who killed 10 at Colorado supermarket is sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, this one's crazy. So a mentally ill man who killed 10 people at a Colorado supermarket in 2021 was sentenced Monday to life in prison for murder after a jury rejected his attempt to avoid prison time by pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. Like, come on now. If you're going to get off for insanity, I mean, you're not going to get off for killing 10 people.
No.
I
mean, that's tough, but I'm glad that they're definitely punishing, because so many people uses the insanity plea, and gets off in situations like this.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this judge seen through it.
Yeah, the victim's relatives recounted in a paying testimony the lives gunman, they talked about, to the person that's done this, we hope that you suffer for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You are a coward. I hope that this haunts you, until the end of time.
Well, definitely he's going to pay with a life in prison, and sometimes that's better than the death penalty.
Absolutely.
Now, whenever JJ, one last thing, Landry Collette. We didn't have his stats yesterday. We got them last night. Landry Collette, 60% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 333 yards, as they nearly knocked off the Clay County Tigers. This kid right here is having an unbelievable season. Be interesting to see. You know, he's definitely the best quarterback in Leslie County since Tim Couch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing what his numbers look like when it's all said and done. What grade did you say that he was in?
He's a senior.
He's a senior this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be curious to see like how his statistics compare to Tim Couch's.
Well, I would say he's probably going to be a little bit off from Tim Couch, but still magical season for Landry Collette there, as he's trying to overcome one of his top receivers going down for the season. So hopefully, he can still get that air attack going, and the Eagles can have a fabulous season with Landry Collette leading the charge. JJ, it's 10:22. We had to go a little bit late as JJ was late getting on today. So,
hey, I had internet connection issues. You know, it's my mistake.
Great show today. Definitely want to thank Bryson and Macy for joining us. Them two, if you guys don't know them, two great kids on and off the court, and anytime we can catch up with them, we definitely want to. Give them another month. Wait till you see what they look like after another month of Corey Hayes. They're going to be two. If you want to buy stock in 2028 talent right now, you want to buy stock in them too, because it's going to pay off.
And let's give a shout out to the school for giving us permission to, interview them as well.
Shout out to Martin County, as I'm wearing my Martin County gear today. So but JJ, we're going to disappear when we come back tomorrow. We got Pick'em. So we picked our Survivor Series picks today as Bradley's in the hospital getting worked on. But we will be back tomorrow as JJ, we will pick our games for this season. We'll tell you what games we're going to do this week and much more coming on Startup Morning Show Wednesday episode tomorrow morning. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy.